Memorial 2021. What a year, right? Of 2020. And I don't want to say first and foremost. No, it's going to be equal respect here, mutual respect to all fallen law enforcement and to all victims who fell to police brutality at any form, physical, by firearm, intentional. And the most dangerous call you can ever respond to is a domestic violence call. There's a high percentage of you actually having to deal with somebody that wants to be actually suicided by cop as a way to just cop out. You know what I mean? Cop out, basically. Your mental state is not right, and you do a lot of actual crimes that actually are not very well taken by your peers on the streets and in prison. So earlier, I actually posted a video on Angel, and Angel um, did not act the way he should have been acting towards his family, towards his spouse, towards his loved ones, and he chose to end it himself at the end of that police chase. And he knew what he had done. He knew the consequences, and he knew exactly uh, what would happen to him uh, if he were to actually to make it to prison by his peers. Therefore, he chose to end his own life. You know, and we can respectfully say we don't know his mental state exactly, what he was thinking, what he was going through, what he was on. There's always a chance someone's on an actual substance, you know, whether it be legal or illegal substance. You know, you never know. You know, but what I do know is that it is a very, 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 very dangerous situation that you can get called to. You know what I'm saying? And at times when you're actually working in rural areas and there is a tendency to be a higher rate of firearms being in the home, or you best believe that if an actual local law enforcement needs actual assistance and there are actual uh, other agencies, whether it be state, whether it be federal, you can best believe that that officer will be getting back up and will not be entering that property by themselves. So it did happen. We did respond. Fortunately, for us, for me, everything was peaceful. And after each call, you had to thank somebody, you know? And when you get to the actual, the ending part, the actual, the peaceful conclusion, you know, you don't realize how much your body, your adrenaline takes out of you, energy wise, you know, energy wise and mental, you know what I'm saying? And, and it's scary. It's scary, you know? it, you might not be scared at the moment, but once you think about what could have perspired, actually concluded, you know, what I mean, what if it would have been gone a different way? Were you trained enough? Were you skilled enough? Were you willing to take that actual shot? Now, me personally, I never took that shot. But what I can tell you is, the other way around, getting shot at, seeing someone actually gunned down in front of you, having to render aid, having to extract the actual individual by vehicle to seek medical aid because the fact that there was no waiting around for actual medical aid. You had to actually conduct it yourself. That's no easy task, you know. But it all comes into play. All your training comes into play, and all your training actually falls into place. It all comes to a plan, and I'll leave it at that, just like that. But it sucks. It really does suck, especially breaking the news to the fallen person's family. And it's not always by person. I don't regret it, but thinking about it from my perspective, from my side, thinking about it from my actual family member, uh, having that done to, I would honestly appreciate getting that phone call, even if it's by public telephone. You heard me right? Public telephone. Putting in 20 cents, 2 dimes, and making that call at dawn, early in the morning, just to let them know the basic stuff and where to actually locate their loved one, what hospital. And I still don't remember the actual facts. I still don't remember the details, you know what I'm saying? Because, your mind blanks all that out, but I do remember making that phone call. I do remember rendering aid. And that morning, I had some maneuvering skills that one could only wish for in a position like that. And apparently I did it on a flat tire with one flat tire. I don't remember. But, on this Memorial Day, just think about how things could have been or things should have been or would have been. And we've all had near death experiences, we've all had them. And when stuff like this goes down, hey, get help, because I made a mistake of not getting help until 15 years later, believe it or not. 15 years later. And I was lucky enough to be approached by an in-law, and he saw the signs and actually accompanied me to get checked into a mental facility. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't really receive the proper advice. Like you see now, uh, PTSD wasn't in our vocabulary at the time. It was not. We just dealt with it in other ways. And people say, anybody can give you advice. Anybody can give you uh, either be positive or negative advice on how to handle situations and stuff like that. And you'd want to think that everything would turn out good for you, and sometimes it doesn't. And hopefully, and to tell you the truth, I cannot say that it didn't actually affect me or actually put a little bit of reality into certain situations. But I can tell you this much right now on OG Shadow's channel, the death of Spider, the death of Joker. No pun intended. Heart rest in peace, Joker. But no joke. It was no joke, man. I mean, the reality of actually seeing him on film and actually on a video interacting with other YouTubers, like OG Black, interacting. That was one of the fastest videos you can actually uh, sit down and actually just listen to their actual interactions, and how Joker was just kick back with OG Shadow, just kick back and reminisce and talk about everything so calmly that everything that came out of Joker's mouth, you didn't even second guess. You just took it for what it's worth. That's how calm and natural his speech was while being interviewed. You can tell from his voice there was no fibbing. There was no making stuff up. That thing came out so natural that it just flowed. Same thing with Spider. He was very, very honest, by the way. Very, very to the point, and he didn't hold back. He told you and he told OG how he felt, how he was raised, and how he looked at the actual community around him. If you guys haven't seen that video or them videos, go back and search in OG channel. I really do recommend it. And I have a smile on my face right now because hopefully one person was actually changed to making that right decision of staying away from that lifestyle, knowing the consequences of that lifestyle. And these two individual gentlemen, they were actually veteranos. They were actually veterans to the violence. They knew the consequences in their own right. And for us to criticize their actual lifestyle, their actual ways of life, until you're not into that, until you're not in that situation, you do not know how you're going to see life, how you're going to approach life, how you are going to live to survive. And I have one thing that I've always wanted to say about OG Shadow. All you who are actually trolls that actually want to out him out that he's not here, he's not there, he's not there, he's not here, he wasn't there, that didn't happen. Don't be disrespectful because you're being disrespectful to Spider and to Joker by saying that because they were in his home. They were interviewed side by side with this actual YouTuber, OG Shadow. And they'll never forget that. And this will be the only time I'll ever speak on these two individuals. And I'm doing it on Memorial Day weekend because in their own right, they were actually foot soldiers. I'm not saying the cause was right, but they actually led to their actual death. And that's what OG Shadows always told you guys. Hospital, an ailment, or death or all. And these two individuals actually succumb to their actual decisions in life, you know? And we're not judging here. I'm not judging anybody because I could have easily fell into that lifestyle. But I had the right people around me to actually prevent me from actually following a similar path as these two individuals because I could have easily. And I have about 6 cousins that chose that life and paid the ultimate price on this Memorial Day 2021. So it's all around rest in peace, you know, whether you're on the right side or the wrong side or the middle or a victim. And think about what decisions you make in life. And I'll say it again, just like OG Black said, the decision you make will follow you for the rest of your lives. And that's so true. If it's by employment, by background checks, by prison, or the ultimate price by death, or you causing the death of somebody else. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to pull the trigger. It does not at all. As long as you're there, as long as you're willing to participate and something goes down, guess what? You're going down too. Just think about what you guys do before and think things through because they're going to follow you for the rest of your life.